it's like a museum, but it has not this kind of extra feeling of something lively.
Atmosphere.
Yeah. You can think like, okay, this city, that we earn a lot of money with it, so
Yeah, just
well, you don't want to live in it anymore.
No.
But if tourists want to come there, okay, and let's all move to these people to Rotterdam. They can
yeah, but then you think of like all the stories about Amsterdam, how lively it was, but it.
Yeah, that's also the strange thing about cities, that they're coming and they're going.
Yeah, that's true.
The center of Amsterdam was, for like maybe 30 years ago, it was empty, and it wasn't really attractive. People wouldn't live there because they were cheap. It was there was a lot.
Difficult to live in.
Yeah, it was.
You cannot buy a
Houses
car.
were really
were
shitty.
deteriorating. There were a lot of squatting buildings. There were a lot of empty buildings because once a lot of companies went in, but then they went out to big offices out of the city, and then it was kind of half empty. And then actually is becoming popular is only like the last 20
now it's
years.
very expensive.
Yeah.
Now it's getting more expensive, and
Yeah.
it's the same like what you see in London or in New York with this gentrification.
Yeah.
And I saw this. You really see it happening in
Rotterdam.
20 years, and you see it. I see it. I was wishing it for Rotterdam, like, oh yeah, it should.
Now it's coming. And
Now it's coming, and it's already.
you can
Yeah,
stop
it's
it
getting
anymore.
very, in a way, this cycles of cities.
And they also are becoming degraded. I don't know if in Amsterdam, but if you go to Paris or you go to Madrid, you can see many people sleeping during the night in the streets and in the squares and begging in the streets. And I don't know in Amsterdam.
Netherlands, not so.
Not so many.
Not so much, but if you go to
Germany,
Turin,
not-
you go to Rome, you go to Madrid,
Yeah.
you go to
Paris.
Paris,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
full
Paris
of
also
mendicants
like
begging from
Yeah.
for a piece of some couple or
Yeah.
something. This is also degraded, and they are sleeping during the night in the. There are people
Yeah.
from many different places in the world are invading historical cities in Europe.
Yeah.
I don't know in
Because-
Amsterdam, but also in Venice.
There's money.
Yeah. Big cities.
There's the money.
Yeah.
In New York, they tell me that there is also many people living in this.
It used to be much worse in Manhattan, like in the 80s or something. Were really then they had this
Yeah.
kind of
With
zero
this-
tolerance.
Criminality.
Yeah.
But also with the heroin.
Heroin and things.
Yeah.
And
It was
then
also in Rotterdam though.
yeah, like where I was living,
Where,
or where we were
Yeah.
we have our office. It was really
going back to the beginning of the conversation about what could be a good place for
Yeah.
establishing
Observatorium.
observatorium here in this beautiful land of.
I can imagine what
We
Esther
also
says, like, well, do you want this kind of strange things in your...
we will be we will see plenty of places
Yeah.
tomorrow, I think. But we should
But if
allow.
nature take us to those places,
Yes, but nature, I think shouldn't take us to beautiful, fantastic sceneries. I think it's more interesting for you, perhaps. I'm not an artist, but I'm suggesting that perhaps it's more useful to you to see places not far from the roads or things which are interesting in a different way. As you said, for instance, when we were visiting today Numancia, we saw in the horizon these horrible, huge buildings that are being forbidden finally, thanks to the ecologist who has stopped the continuation of the idiotic city of how did they call it?
it was
City of the environment.
the environment,
Ciudad del Medio Ambiente,
Yeah.
which is
Institute of the. I don't know.
so these kind
But
of
it can,
places.
but it can also be a different story. It can also be a story of, these roads of the shepherds, and it can be something about. But it's
We have
we
to
don't
live.
want to have it like only kind of a sentimental thing, like oh there was this road of the shepherd,
No,
and that's
no, no. But
it's nice, but
nice,
how can you
yeah.
combine it with what's happening
Yeah.
now? And,
Let's see tomorrow,
yeah,
because perhaps you will see places where you say, stop here.
yeah,
No, that's
Okay,
That's how I look at it.
yeah.
Okay.
So we expect you to take to places, and when he says stop here, you stop.
Are we going, Nacho, in one car, or how is going to be organized
Two
tomorrow?
cars, I suppose.
A moment, please.